Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna go through a video with you and check out how I painted this seascape in the time-lapse version. So let's jump into it. You can see here I'm just starting with kind of a normal, I usually paint from the background to the foreground. And so I start with the sky in this case because you get a lot of the reflective qualities of the sky and the water. So then I move on to the horizon, the water itself. This is a mix of raw umber, cobalt blue, white, viridian, and then it transitions slightly in the water. It goes from cobalt blue to cobalt violet. I'm showing my sketch. You can see I'm blocking in the composition in big shapes, thinking about the abstract elements of the darks of the rocks. I work in a very similar way when I'm out in nature. Um, this is meant to kind of mimic what I slightly did. It's not perfect, but it mimics what I may have done outside as far as setting it up from back to front with the rocks. So here, let's see, just mixing up some darks of the water because I'm thinking about maybe moving into the lights of the crashing waves. So when the water crashes into the rocks, it creates foam. And you can see there I grabbed a fan brush, and the fan brush allows for different kinds of, um, obviously different kinds of strokes, but also different kinds of um, ideas of playing back and forth with how things interact. It changes up the surface of the painting. Here I'm expanding into a little bit more of the viridian white, ultramarine blue maybe, to get some of that color. And then I'm going back and forth and getting a little bit more of the atmosphere, the tree line. Squirt out some more paint and we'll continue on refining things as I work my way forward. Then it allows me to kind of finish up that section and move into the next. So yeah, here just kind of thinking about translucency versus kind of thick paint, and how when you lose light, it obviously drops off, it goes into the dark, so you want to keep that translucent. Using a palette knife, kind of scraping sections, making it feel like rocks. Um, yeah, that's a trick that I do often, is making sure that things feel as they are in nature. Continuing on with mixing in some of those colors of the sky, incorporating the cooler colors in the rocks. As it gets wet, it's a reflective surface, so it's going to reflect the colors in the sky. As it dries, it's going to be a more diffused reflection, and it'll be a much drier matte quality. So yeah, the fun thing about this is, the little sketch that I'm holding up there is done using the Prashad palette, and it is a windy day on the rocks. It was cold out. It's a little 4 by 6 inch piece of paper, or maybe 5 by 7. And you can bring it back to the comfort of your studio and develop a piece, a larger painting that can have a little bit more substance. You could use the same technique for like a 30 by 40 too, if you wanted to, so long as you have that reference, you can kind of go inventing. Here, just making sure to cover up the entirety of the canvas, just get everything filled in, unless I specifically want it to be showing. If I want it left over, then kind of showing through, then that's fine. some of that broken color. But really feeling the water back and forth as it goes through the rocks, that's important. As it kind of crashes in, you can see the difference between as it moves in between the rocks. I'm thinking about all that as I'm painting it, obviously. The fan brush allows me to get the wispy kind of, as the air blows the crashed foam, it just creates a different texture, which is really nice. Continuing on to think about the perspective of the rocks, the surface of the rocks, creating interest in those little individual shapes as opposed to the big overall look. Yeah, continuing to fill in and just finish up, taking some of that lighter opaque color, getting the top surface form of the rock. Smaller forms, of course. At this stage, you're having to invent a considerable amount because the sketch just doesn't have it. You can have a photo reference. In this case, I don't have one. I just have the little sketch. And so you end up kind of experimenting and inventing as you go. So yeah, that's the process. I hope you enjoyed it. You can catch everything at over on the Patreon channel. So it's Painting with Michael Klein. It's also, if you search Shot Palette, it should show up. So I appreciate you being here. Thanks for your support. See you in the next one.